Hello. How are we today? We're good? Good. We're going to start our 11 o'clock quick panel session, which is the topic about monetizing the five senses. So first and foremost, a little bit introduction. My name is Greg. I'm from Mews. We have our stand right behind you if you'd like to come and find us. We have a hospitality cloud system. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we're going to look at how hotels are starting to monetize, looking at different experiences guests are enjoying at hotels, and who better than our different panelists that we have, which I'll introduce in a little while. But first and foremost, I want to play you a small video and tell me how you feel after you've watched this 1 minute video. I hope you've had some coffee and you can relax for a little while. But enjoy. Hopefully we got some sound coming straight after. Super. I hope you now feel super relaxed because I would be quite happy being there, to be fair. But no, the reason I wanted to play this video for you because the guest experience is changing so much, and hotels are coming up with incredible creative ways of how to create new experiences. Because how do we all differentiate ourselves at the end of the day? And whether it's being infiltrated by technology or any other way that you're looking to change that guest experience, this is what we really want to talk about today. So, who better than to help me do this than our incredible hoteliers themselves, which I think are doing a fantastic job of monetizing those senses through incredible experiences. So, first up, we've got Raoul from the Dill in Amsterdam, we've got Sander from Cabiner, and we've got Mark from Botanic Sanctuary. Do you gentlemen want to come up and join me, please? I think. Hopefully that's okay. So, guys, if I've not seen anybody do it better, it's probably the three of you, and such incredible, great differences of how you've all managed to tackle this. But before we start there, do you want to introduce yourselves very, very quickly to the audience and tell them about your lovely property and where it's based? Mark, please.
I will start this morning. Thank you. Mark Alofs, 52, almost managing the Botanic Sanctuary Antwerp. 20,000 square meters of ancient city center restored in the city of Antwerp. We created 108 rooms, 5 restaurants, of them 3 with Michelin stars in the meanwhile, 2 shops, 14 meeting rooms, and a spa and a gym.
You're very modest. You have 4 stars in total.
We have 4 Michelin stars. Yes.
I think that's a very, 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 very powerful achievement. Fantastic. And Sander, do you want to tell us a little bit about Cabiner?
Yes, Sander, I'm one of the founders of Cabiner. We've been offering stays in the middle of nature, the Dutch national parks, for the last 5 years. And our concept is that we offer cabins basically in the middle of nowhere. So you have to hike up, and then you spend the night in the middle of, surrounded by nature, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them a little bit more about the sustainability side? Because I think that's also quite impactful of what you try to do.
Yeah, we try to. Our basic concept is that we also bring something to the area. So our presence in the national park is also benefiting the park itself. So part of our proceeds go to sustaining the forest and to building nature, and to also explaining people what it means to live off-grid and in harmony with nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The off-grid is probably the
Yeah.
most
Exactly.
underlying
So
point.
we're operating in winter and summer, but completely off what nature brings. So sunlight, the water, everything is local.
Sounds
Yeah.
fantastic. Oh, amazing. And then
Yeah.
Raoul.
Roel, yeah.
Roel.
Roel
Tell us
Ruijs.
about the Dylan.
Yes, from the Dylan Hotel. Well, we're not off grid. We're in the city center of Amsterdam, Keizersgracht. So one of the most beautiful canals in Amsterdam. It's a 40 bedroom hotel, 3 restaurants. We just opened our new restaurant, just a 6-seat restaurant, quite unique, Athé, and Winkels, where we have a Michelin star, and then our brasserie. We call it the best kept secret ourselves because it's quite a unique location. The building is from 1772, it is. I worked there for 15 years, and one of the reasons is that it is such a great property to work, and yeah, a lot of things we can do. It's F&B focused, so it's really nice to work.
I've been there and it's absolutely stunning. I think what was interesting for me, like you have these 4 distinct types of room styles, and forgive me, I can't remember all the names, but I remember the serendipity one as the most one, which is quite different from hotels who usually focus on like a classification of standard deluxe, which I know you have some, some deluxe and junior suites, but you've used these 4 types of rooms as a style for people to choose and experience, something different from the design.
Yeah.
What has inspired this, and have you seen things that have made it different from people staying at other hotels?
Well, we are just a small hotel, but we're privately owned, and we don't have a head office in London that says what we need to do, whatever. So we just we feel like entrepreneurs, and over time you work with designers and you find designers that fit at that moment, and but after a few years, maybe things changed. Maybe you want it differently. You want a different style, and you have also different environments. Like the loft rooms are
Yes.
part of the building. We have which we call the new building on the side, but that's not a new building. It's still from 1800, but it looks newer. So there's a different designer there. So these days we work with Paul Linse, Studio Linse, and he is somebody that really respects the building itself and adds the design. But the cool thing is we don't want to totally renew the whole concept with all the same rooms. Like you have these days some hotels that every room is the same.
Yeah.
But with us, every room is different, and also every room is differently designed to make it a unique stay.
Yeah, I've seen this. For years, I feel hotels have been trying so hard to have this lasting effect after you've checked out of the hotel. And I recently had the pleasure of staying at the New Edition Hotel, part of Marriott, in Madrid, and the smell was incredible. So I had to ask them in the end, what is the smell that I'm smelling everywhere? And it was a perfumery based out of New York called Le Labo, if anybody's actually familiar with Le Labo products. And I asked them, I have to take this home. Is there a website that I can go? And for the first time, I was so enchanted that I actually wanted to continue. So now my house smells like the Edition hotels, pretty much. I've put all the candles, I put all of it everywhere. And what I thought was interesting was now you've actually felt the Edition hotel. So the first thing when I leave now to go into another hotel is, how do I get this again? And I want to come to you, Mark, because I feel you've created something so interesting. So the Botanic Sanctuary is based in Antwerp. It shares a wall with the Botanic Gardens, or the old Botanic Gardens, as I understand it. But what was interesting is you've created this new experience, this botanic buffet experience, where you've used some of the local producers for cheeses and stuff to just defer it from the traditional, omelets and eggs and bacon kind of breakfast. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that and how that has been going for you?
Yeah, that's actually our breakfast formula, and we thought a lot about it. And we didn't want to have the regular breakfast, which you find in all kinds of hotels. So we really thought about quality, about sustainability, about having everything portioned, which is very important to me. So not just taking it from large shaving dishes, etc. And it should be all kinds of products from the area. So we really did our utmost. So there's still a large buffet, but everything is portioned. People really appreciate it. It's also and there's also a menu, and there is 10 or 12 dishes by our Michelin star chefs, which our guests can order within the same price. So it's actually the mixture of taking whatever you like yourself at the breakfast buffet, and order some specialties by the Michelin star chefs.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen the reviews online, and I mean, you've taken, I guess, the sense of taste and smell to a whole new level by creating it. Because I kind of like it. You know, I'm from England. Everything is the English breakfast wherever I go, and then you've created something totally different. So this was really nice to see. But Sander, your one is probably by far, you know, the shop that you've created online, where you're selling anything from slippers to chairs to, you know, flasks. And the contrast to, you know, the Botanic Sanctuary, you know, you've got this unplugged kind of atmosphere created for guests. And I guess the sense that I'm attracted to is peace and quiet and tranquility of nature that you've created. But you've also tried to create through having an e-shop, which is probably the most easiest things hotels could do today, really, to start an extra revenue, you know, income. Tell us a little bit more about the shop and what inspired it and why you've done it particularly, all these new branding items.
Well, we had a lot of questions from the guests because they stay with us and then they're using the slippers. It's basically everything from the cabin itself, which is offered in the shop. So from the chair to the slippers to the flask. And for all these products, we've tried to find kindred brands with the same kind of sustainable ethos that fits with our way of thinking. And there we've attracted them, and they and that's what we offer. And an example is like the tea we offer. We have like a community day, and there they harvest the leaves from the trees, and then they make the tea from them, and that we offer again then in our cabin, and you can buy it. So it's kind of the whole way it fits into kind of a system we've created to be present there and to offer that experience. And then when people want to just take a bit of that experience with them home, so they feel like they have this natural feeling back.
I mean, your properties are probably by far the most unplugged from anything. You know, to really take a break from, you know, the daily grind of living in urban city locations.
Exactly.
Which I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah.
The reason I love the shop more than anything, because I was talking about the Edition hotels, is I wanted to buy the products, the candles that were burning in the room, etc., etc. And I wish now I can reorder it. I mean, I don't have the luxury of going to New York all the time, but you know, this I think would touch on how you can really take over that experience.
Yeah, we're going to expand a bit on that now, where we're going to offer some audio guides while you're walking, because I wanted to add that the sense of time is almost the biggest one. You want to slow down, and that people need some guidance and help to make the fullest of that experience. So we're offering some audio guides for forest bathing, so you can kind of walk and like take in all the senses, what the forest has to offer. And then we're also going to offer those in the shop, so you can just walk through your local park and then experience the same thing.
Very, very cool. I want to come to you quickly, Roel.
Yeah.
I mean, you have probably one of the most beautifully designed hotels. Of course, you know, it's designed by Anuska Hempel. Everybody knows the Franklin in London. You know, just the pure way the rooms have been designed. And I share my favorite room, which is room 24, which is the loft, which looks through these gorgeous windows over onto this little garden that you have. But you've really touched on the design element of, you know, sight, feeling, texture. What have people been saying about this being different from a traditional box standard hotel? Because you must have these from guests.
What? I'm sorry, the question?
No, but like, what are people actually saying about the different types of design and the quality of the, you know, the materials, the linen, everything that you put into this room? Because it's like, it's so opulent, you know, but understated though. It's an understated luxury.
Well, the people love it. Although we also get complaints from Americans because the beams.
Sorry, Americans.
So
for
the
the
loft
audience.
rooms, they have beams. They're original in the building, and then the guests they arrive, they saw the images, and then they come in and see the beams, and like, oh, well, that's dangerous. Okay, well, we just once in a while we have guests like that, but that's fine. We have a lot of other rooms that don't have that, but yeah, we try to make these rooms with the best products. Actually, room 24 will be redecorated within a few months. And we're busy with the designs now. Studio Linse has been busy with that, and we upgraded the whole thing really with the materials. So we're going to use the wood and the quartzite. I don't know if you say that, but it's a really hard product that is really luxury. And really looking forward in making these bathrooms look like that and the rooms. But that's all an add-on on the room itself because the basic is already experience to be in. If you look outside, you're in the middle of Amsterdam, and
Very beautiful.
yeah, this is beautiful. And the only thing we can do is add more beautiful materials, add a layer of music, the sense of smell with our home perfume, things like that. You can just make the experience more intensive. But I think that's the whole important thing, just to make it a more experience. The same with Cabernet. It is really an experience. Only we have the same experience, only it's city experience in a historic building. And
Yeah, and it's different, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think, what does this all mean at the end, right? Monetizing the senses. I think what the three of you have done is you've picked on a certain particular piece of your business and homed in on it to make it something truly special. So I guess the question on everyone's lips here is, has this had much of an impact? Because you've invested, I'm sure, a little bit of money to home in on a shop or doing the specific breakfast. I'm sure, all these local produce can be cheap, and same for some of the refurbishment that you've done. But you've homed in it. It's key. Whenever you Google search any one of your properties, these are the themes that keeps coming up. So I guess open to the question is, have you seen some ROI from this? And making such, deliberate decisions about actually focusing on this in the guest experience, because it's something you can't really tangibly get your hands on. Who would like to take it?
Well, for us, it's details are extremely important. For me, this is part of the details we're taking care of every day.
5-star in the leading hotel of the world,
and
of course.
It is. It's all in the details. It's all in quality, and it's also all in sincere attention for the guests. And that's something I really miss in a lot of hotels and a lot of other businesses. Most of the time, everything is pushed up to the shares, to the stock value, etc. But we said from day one, for us it's very important to unburden the guest. They drive up, we'll take care of their cars by valet parking, we'll take care of the luggage. They get in, they get a glass of champagne, they get a macaron of the 3-star chef, and the party can start. And it's thousands of details, and it's a certain scent, it's also a certain program for the kids, it's certain music in certain rooms, but it's all in the details, and we thought a lot about it. And I cannot tell you that one of the things is really profitable, but it's the total. We do have a shop as well. We have an old apothecary, which was part of the monastery, and we turned it into a shop. So we sell our products as well, but it's all part of the total feeling guests have to have about the sincere attention and about really unburdening them.
I am getting married next year, and I tell you, your venues are looking very good right about now. But specifically, I think the experience you've created with this green forest-type feeling of being in touch with nature, and I think specifically what you've done, Sander, have you seen any ROI that you can attribute to some of the things that you've keyed or homed in on?
Well, like to continue with the story of Mark. It's all about the details, but again, if you zoom out, it's this all the details come up to this holistic experience that you're creating, and I guess it couldn't be much more opposite with the city center and the middle of nature. And we take also the quite of opposite approach because our guests have to carry their own bags, they have to cook their own food.
Let's not forget the log fire. You start your own
you
eating.
have to do it yourself, and that's that sense of adventure and the sense of pride you get in actually doing it all yourself. But in the end, I think the feeling you get, that you feel this wholesome feeling about this experience, that again you arrive, so you come out like from different ends of the circle, and you end up in the same feeling that you feel very happy to be there, and that your sense of time slows down, and you never want to leave. You just want to just stay in that feeling.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to have this juxtaposition of these two approaches. But absolutely, in our sense also, we kind of let go because the forest does the work for most of the senses. So
do you think it's a worthwhile investment then for hoteliers out here looking at listening?
Yeah, if you create a unique experience, people will want to latch on to that and take something home from them. So something tangible, and that could be a pair of slippers or a candle, or some tea.
Do you want to add anything, Raoul?
Well, I think all these senses are there to support. And first of all, the service with us. What is our main thing in our concept? That's the service and location. And all these senses you add to make a full experience. And is there any revenue coming from that scent? No, not much. But if guests want to buy it, that's the service. We don't get real revenue from that. But it's more all these add-ons make that you can ask the prices for your rooms and keep asking, and you keep renewing stuff to get your guest keep your guests happy. And it shouldn't, if you start things up now and you think, oh yeah, we need a Spotify list because everybody has it. No, it needs to come from the heart, and you don't get revenue with that. But the whole concept, everything together, all these details together, make that guests come back. They come back. I
want to stay there because that leads me to my next question. Do you think this investment you've made has brought about loyalty from your customers, and not specifically part of a loyal program, but just in regards to footfall of guests coming back? Because I see myself specifically being attracted to all three of your properties, which would make me return naturally because I have the sense of taste or touch or smell or the things that I would remember and take personally towards me. Have you seen loyalty being driven by this sort of an investment?
Yes.
Yes.
But because it is not that out in the open, you know, it's the details that give you a feeling. Maybe it is not your taste, the music, but the style of hospitality is, or and if everything is correct, everything it's a machine that has a nice flow, then guests keep coming back because they like the atmosphere. Maybe not only because of the scent, only because of the music, but the whole package. And it just needs to be right. The balance needs to be perfect. If I go to a property where they have a really intense, I don't like intense scents. If it's really intense, I don't like that. And if their music is really loud, I don't like that. That's not something for
I
me
have
to
a
come
few
back.
hotels. I'll give you a list to stay away if you'd like. I'll share it with you.
Yeah, but there are people that like that, so we can't make the whole world happy.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
So, but
strokes.
just keep with your own style. Stay with yourself.
Sander, have you seen a select type of group? I'm sure you do because you're offering such a unique experience.
You create the experience that they are initially attracted to, and if you deliver on that. So again, also with us, it's kind of, you see the dream, you see the Instagram photo, the website, so you're like, this is what you think you're going to get. And then when you actually experience it yourself, and we see that a lot of people posting their own pictures on Instagram, it really fits with what the promise is. And and then all the details are there, and we've taken care of that. So in the end, when you kind of deliver on that promise, and the experience is what they want, they're going to want to come back.
Nice. Well, we've got 5 minutes left. I just wanted to quickly see if any anybody in the audience had a question for our panel that you'd like to ask, to get any particular insight, whether you're thinking on doing something similar at your properties, these guys seem to know and have it in hand. Any questions? If you want to raise your hand, we'll get a mic out to you really quickly. We have a mic coming over really quickly. For the gentleman here in the corner, if you can just bring it down really quickly. Thank you, Ilse. If you can just tell us your name and the hotel and what's your question, that will be amazing, or company, doesn't matter.
Hi, my name is Robert. I'm a digital designer, and I would like to know how you transfer these 5 senses over to digital.
That's a very, very good question. I think, I don't know who wants to take it. How have you used digital, how have you transferred these senses over to digital?
I think it is all about. I don't like the word concept, but if you make sure that everything, a scent of, you can't bring digital, but if your photography and the way you speak is in the same style, I think it's hard to say how, but just keep to your basics. Like if you have a photographer, stay with the choose a photographer and stay with the same photographer. And if this machine is going well with digital, with the scent, everything comes together.
Yeah.
I don't know if it could also be over time. You know, it's not that it's there on day one. You make good decisions, bad decisions, you learn from it. But I think it is pretty hard, especially these days with everything coming on Instagram and everybody is following trends. I think stay with yourself and choose a photographer, a style, and people that can advise you that
True.
have also the experience of how to.
And
get
Xander,
on.
I like just building on that, like, doing research about your hotels, specifically, when traveling. I mean, you've used a lot of very, a good tone of voice, words like unplugged, tranquility, relax, all over the website, all searchable. And you used a lot of people imagery surrounded by nature, starting fires, having a drink, sitting around looking at nature. I think that's for me, when I was looking at this, I almost was transcended into being there without even leaving my front living room.
Yeah, no, it's all the choices you make also in your digital presence. Like our homepage, we've said like you log in, it's just one big picture. There's no buttons, you have to scroll down. It takes some time as well to go through the website. So that's kind of, you transcend the experience of actually walking through nature also into the digital properties.
Yeah.
So you don't make it all too upfront, too loud. It's all, the tranquility kind of, seeps through everything you do.
Yeah. And Mark, I don't know if you want to add something. How did you manage getting the Botanic Sanctuary because you have such a sensory experience into the digital world?
We have a lot to tell. It's not one target
You have to go and stay there. That's what he's trying to tell you.
It's not one target group, but even 27. So it's not easy, but like Roel said, you have to make decisions in life, and that's what we did. And we chose one photographer, we chose one company for social media, and we tried to bring over all the feelings and scents, etc., as good as possible in the little movies we produce for social media. And that's where we try to have, where we give the people the feeling at home, what we are providing when they're in Antwerp.
Lovely. Well, brings us. Oh, we have one more quick question. We've got 1 minute left. Very quickly. No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll take your question.
Hi, thank you. I've got a quick question as well because
name and company, so we know where you're from.
Theo from Van der Valk Avifauna. You mentioned that through scent and all the other senses, you don't directly see any revenue, but you see loyalty. Apart from loyalty program, what are your KPIs you're using to measure this?
Nice. Do you guys have any specific KPIs that you attribute directly to some of the things that you have done? Anyone? Open floor. Sander, let's start with you.
I'll start. Well, the KPIs, we can see the revenue from the shop and all the other things, and we can see the amount of, we don't have a loyalty program, but we are tracking returning visitors.
Okay.
And
So you have some sort of guest
Yeah.
metrics to
Yeah.
keep an eye.
Yeah.
Is this Greg and he's returned and shopped online, and you're
Exactly.
connecting the dots together?
Yeah, trying to monitor as much as possible through our dashboard,
Okay.
and that's it. Yes, we're always looking for a lot of repeaters, repeating customers,
Yeah.
and we are all reading, writing that down in our systems, etc.
Is there one sort of KPI specific to the guest, like you know, a lifetime value of the guest, or how much the guest is actually attributing to all the different outlets that you have in the property? Is this something that you guys are talking about?
we're tracking a net promoter score as well. And
Oh,
we,
net
we
promoter
see
score, yeah.
we see that yeah, especially also trending upwards. So that kind of gives a sense of the whole experience that
Very
people
cool.
are getting.
You're almost
That-
running a
that's-
SaaS hotel by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it is cloud-based. It's
Yeah,
very digital.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I will stop it there. We're hit 11:31. Guys, you're doing an absolutely fantastic product experience for the guests. I'm super chuffed. If you have the opportunity, do get round to come and stay at these hotels. Our panelists will be around, hopefully a little bit longer. If not, they're not on their stand. You can find them at our stand. Thank you all for joining, and see you all soon, and enjoy the show.